This video is brought to you by Squarespace. If you need a website or domain, go to squarespace.com. Hey everybody, and welcome back to a new video. Are you wondering what someone who's taken 1.5 million photos thinks about their camera settings? In this video, I'll share what my experience has taught me and what you should put your focus on to become a better photographer. If you stay till the end, I'll share the biggest mistake I've made so that you don't make the same one. I've been shooting photos for a long time and I've taken lots of photos, with a large proportion of them being wildlife. And I'm lucky that people really enjoy my work, but most of it was a problem for my photographic future. Being a wildlife photographer hasn't made me a better photographer. Actually, just the opposite. Being in the wildlife and nature genre has given me too much emphasis on three things. 1. Photographing wildlife puts all the emphasis on finding subjects to photograph. And when you actually find something, you just shoot. Secondly, with various shutter speeds needed for different action, different ISOs for lighting conditions, and autofocus settings for fast action versus static targets, I spent way too much of my time thinking about settings, not photography. Confucius once said, "He who chases two rabbits catches neither." I think he's right. And 3, some nature photography needs special gear like long lenses for wildlife and wide fast lenses for the Milky Way. Lots of specialized gear for specialized genres. Gear, gear, gear. But being focused on finding things, getting better gear, and getting the settings right doesn't make you a better photographer. What I should have been spending my time on earlier than I did was, rather than finding, I should have been focused on seeing. What I think is the #1 skill of a good photographer. So in this video, we're going to go over some tricks focused on seeing rather than worrying about my settings. So every once in a while, I think it's good to get out of the world of settings and gear and focus on the basics of becoming a good photographer. Stories, interesting compositions, tricks with light, and something unique and out of the ordinary. If you can find it on a postcard, maybe you shouldn't take that photo. Strive to be unique. Seeing is about visualization and having a unique view of the world, and worry less about what other people think. If your photography is about how you see the world, why care about what someone else who sees the world through their eyes, not yours, says about your work? The fancy social media feeds of photography-inclined influencers that show flash and fanfare can sometimes make us feel that we're not part of the in gang, the popular crowd. But that's not what photography is. It's enjoying capturing images, ones that make you happy. Doing photography to win a popularity contest isn't a very good idea. You need to be bold. Sure, it's great to get positive feedback on your photos, but let's face it, not everyone will love your photos. And that's not important. Find the people who do like your photos. They're out there, and enjoy sharing with them. Once in a while, I think it's helpful in photography to step out of your comfort zone. For me, specialized gear at exotic locations and game have become kind of a crutch, taking the art of photography out of my efforts. Taking a decent photo of a leopard sitting on a termite mound isn't rocket science when it's sitting there right in front of you. Yes, I had to travel halfway around the planet and bounce around in a vehicle for 40 hours to get the shot, but once there, it was click. So this day, I'm doing something the opposite, pushing myself. I'm walking around with just one camera and one lens in a town environment. I've got some zoom to play with and that's it. And not fancy gear either, a used Canon M50 I bought for $350 and the lens that came with it. That's it. The goal here is to not have the crutches of fancy gear in exotic locations. And it's to find the courage to be vulnerable. It's easy to show off what you've got when you're at your best, but what about something you're not great at? So today, it's me, a simple camera, and the world around me. It's simple. The rest is up to me. No excuses like, oh, the light isn't great. That's life. This is the heart of photography, the simple pleasure of walking around and capturing the beauty and uniqueness of the world around me. And one of my wildlife photography crutches is shooting 12 frames per second and then going through them for unique and cool things I was able to catch. But spray and pray is a game of chance that sometimes delivers results, but today, gulp, one click at a time. I won't lie to you, this is tough. I don't shoot street photography and don't usually include man-made objects in my photos. So to push my limits, I've gone to a town near where I live to see if I can challenge that often heard saying, there's nothing to photograph where I live. I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. I've been using Squarespace, including making my own website, and it's been super easy and convenient. Squarespace is an all-in-one solution for my business, allowing me to showcase my work, sell products, and even keep an email distribution list to help engage my customers. Electronic commerce is now easier than ever with more ways to pay like credit card, Apple Pay, Klarna, and even buy now and pay later with Afterpay. The latest innovation is design intelligence, using AI to help you curate your own build and helping you through the steps of building your own site to the best available standards, but personalized to your specific needs. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Simon for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Something I put more and more effort into these days is enjoying the experience. Where in the past I used to have a motto that I needed to come home with at least one great photo, I no longer worry about this. I've gone out for wildlife photography and shot 2,000 photos in crappy light and awful conditions with no game, and while some of them were okay, none made the grade for me to post on my social media or add to my collection of keepers. And you know what? That's okay. And even a bigger challenge for myself. But that's what seeing versus finding is all about. It's seeing the amazing in the most mundane places. It's discovering the photo opportunities sitting right under our noses. We need to enjoy the experience rather than looking for photos like we're panning for gold, and when we find a nugget, we cheer, yay, look what I found, but we're only happy if we find gold. I think the true joy of photography is enjoying the panning, the looking for, and once we find the gold nugget, spending time reveling in the what can I do with this? The reason finding isn't a good photography goal is that rarely is just raising your camera up to the eye and taking a photo of what you found make a great photo. Seeing is often about the unique perspectives. The best photos come from the alignment of an interesting subject, but also the environment, the interactions, the background, and giving the photo some purpose to express. Remember, the best photos aren't of things, but about things. A huge part of photography is getting the angle right, the right perspective. Ansel Adams, the famous landscape photographer, was once asked what his trick was, and this ended up being the title of his biography, Knowing Where to Stand. This is a huge part of photography. It decides what the relationship between the subject and the background is. Shooting up, shooting down, from lower and higher angles really changes up the subject and the scene. You need to experiment. Here I found a small lighthouse replica with the sun behind it. By moving around together with the right angle, I could get the sun to be where a light would have been in the lighthouse, which made for a nice perspective. Lines are always great for photos. Straight across the frame, patterns through the frame, leading your eye across the photo. Getting the angle that gets the lines where you want them, like these tree shadows coming down towards me, is part of the trick. Or simple lines made by park benches or features like patterns in the snow here. The best place in the world to be in photography is to enjoy the process of doing it more than the results. Find your passion and reason for doing this. Mine is to be able to share and get all the great feedback I do that my tips help them become better photographers and grow in their craft. One of the worst parts of my wildlife photography upbringing has been seeking perfection in my photography and in every shot. Perfect poses, super sharp, great light, great dynamic range. This doesn't make photos great. But this idea goes against the grain of your photos need to be perfect. Shot at ISO 100 with perfect lighting and key lights and strobes and perfectly sharp and perfect color, and a whole host of other people's perceptions of perfection. There are plenty of great photographers who make wonderful photos that are filled with imperfections. This shot isn't anything great, but I like the shadows cast, and you know what? The whites are blown out here and I don't give a hoot. It's not important to the photo as I see it. This photo has crooked lines and lack of symmetry, but you know what? I still like the patterns, and the lack of symmetry is part of the photo. Or this shot of my shadow where I played around with the height to get an interesting pose. Perfect? No. Does it matter? Not at all. I hope I've helped you think about your photography differently today, helping you re-envisage what your photography could be and to start early in the process earlier than I did. Here's a few pics from my walk. None are amazing, none may ever see my social media feeds, but you know what? That's okay. I had a lovely walk and I focused on enjoying the process, not worrying about my settings or about finding things. Till the next time.